Hey guys, my name is Emily if you haven't seen my face before, and today we're going to be doing a ranking video on Kayali fragrances. Now I'm only going to be able to be ranking the scents that I have personally tried. I've tried 8 of their scents, so I'm really excited to talk about those 8 with you today. I haven't tried her newest scents yet, the wedding one, the pistachio green one, and the newer vanilla scent. We are going to be ranking them from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I will be giving you guys my honest thoughts on all 8 of them. The first one that we're going to be talking about is Invite Only Amber 23. Now, if you are newer to Kayali fragrances, the little number that's after the perfume name is the number of tries that they have had to test out the perfume and then change it. The 23rd is the one that got the gold seal of approval and is the fragrance that we have now. The main notes in Invite Only Amber 23 are black cherry, honey de Provence, I think is how you'd say it, tobacco leaf, amber resin, and vanilla Madagascar. I have these little sample vials on hand with me, so these are the ones I'm going to be using to kind of remind me of the scents. This one reminds me a lot of Kilian's Angel's Share. I smell a lot of cinnamon in this scent with that deep cherry in there too. This is a very warm smell. It's got a little bit of spice in there, and I think this one would be really nice for like fall and winter if you do like those kinds of scents. Unfortunately for me, those just aren't really my forte. I'm not a big fan of cinnamon heavy, spice heavy kind of scents, so that's why this one is in my number 8 place. I have heard a lot of mixed things about Kayali in terms of their projection and longevity. This one on me will last 1 to 2 hours with really good projection, but after that it'll settle down to be more of a skin scent. So I can smell it on myself for 8 hours, but after the 2-hour mark, it's pretty much just me that's going to be smelling it. I don't think this is a bad fragrance by any means, and I know some people who really like it, especially if you do like those more spicy scents. But like I was saying before, this one just isn't really my forte, so that's why this one is number 8. In my 7th place picking, I have one that's a little bit of a controversial pick. I have Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25, which I know so many people love and so many people rant about how much they just adore this perfume, and unfortunately it is not up there in my favorites. This one usually makes me sneeze when I first spray it, and I think it's because of that pepper note in there. Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper has a nice balance in my opinion of spiciness and sweetness. It's got both of those going for it, and it's not overwhelmingly spicy in my opinion like Invite Only Amber is, because it does have that sweetness to kind of tone it down a bit. The rose note is actually quite noticeable in my opinion in this fragrance, and I am not a rose girl. I'm not very big on florals when it comes to my perfumes. I definitely am more of a gourmand vanilla kind of girl. So unfortunately the rose scent in this one is what kind of steers me away from this. I would never reach for this one because of that, but I do think it's a pretty scent, especially if you like florals. So I know that it is kind of an unpopular opinion that I am not the biggest fan of this one. In my 6th spot, I have Deja Vu White Flower 57. So this one took quite a few sendbacks to the perfume lab to get this one right, which is pretty interesting. And the main notes in Deja Vu White Flower are gardenia, jasmine absolute, orange flower, tuberose infusion, and Tahitian vanilla, I think is how you say that. This one definitely was a pleasant surprise for me because it is so floral, and I know what I just said about not being a floral person, but I do like this more than Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. To me, this is almost like a beachy floral, which I think is maybe that Tahitian vanilla coming into play, but I actually enjoy this one. If I am ever wanting to smell a little bit more pretty and dainty and florally, this is the one that I would go for. This is pretty much the only perfume that I can tolerate that is heavily floral, but I still like it. I don't reach for this as much as my other perfumes, which is why, again, this is still pretty low on the list of being number 6. This perfume to me just smells very well blended. Everything fits nicely together. It's a nice balance of the florals with the vanilla. It lasts on my skin all day with a little bit of a better projection than the first 2 that I talked about. This one will project for about 4 or 5 hours on me, and it'll last on my skin as a skin scent after that for the rest of the day. So if you're like me and you don't really like floral perfumes, I would still give this one a sniff if you can, just because you might be pleasantly surprised like I was. This is such a pretty smell. It's so elegant and it's not overwhelming in the slightest. In my 5th spot, I have Musk number 12, and the main notes are lotus flower, jasmine, musks, vanilla, and sandalwood. This is a really soft, pretty musk fragrance that is very subtle. It's not something that's boom in your face. It's a very scaled back, but still very pretty and elegant fragrance. While I do really enjoy the scent of this one, It doesn't project on me whatsoever. It will last a few hours on me, but it'll just be a skin scent. No one else can really smell this on me when I'm wearing it, which is a little bit unfortunate, and I hope other people have better experiences with this one than I have. But I do like the smell, it's just that I don't really get any compliments on it because no one can smell it on me. I will reach for this one if I'm not looking to stick out too much. I just want to be able to smell a perfume myself and be able to enjoy the little cozy powderiness of this one, and it won't draw any attention because people who are walking by me won't be able to pick it up. If you're really, really close to someone wearing this, you might be able to catch a whiff if they move around a little bit, but in general, it pretty much is a skin scent, at least on me, like I said. So I do like the smell of musk, but I don't wear it that often because it doesn't project really and it doesn't last that long, so I prefer to reach for other perfumes over this one, but that being said, I still really enjoy the smell of it. Now that we're at number 4, we are at the top half of my favorites list, so these ones are definitely more favorites than the previous 4, and number 4 is Love Fest Burning Cherry 48. The main notes in this perfume are going to be burning cherry, raspberry, praline, Prelo Santo, which I'm not too sure what that one is, guac wood, and patchouli. I don't really get any raspberry in this perfume. I just get this intoxicating deep cherry that's smoky, and it's just such a nice fall scent. Love Fest Burning Cherry will project on me for about 2 hours, and then it'll settle down to a skin scent for maybe 4 more hours, so I guess in total I'll get about 6, with most of that being a skin scent, which is unfortunate because I actually really, really like the smell of this one. I think this is a great fall and winter scent if you do like cherries, but you want something that isn't super bright and fruity. You want it to be a little bit more deep and sensual for the colder months. So while this is an intoxicating cherry scent and I love it, I just don't get the performance out of this one, which I wish I did. In my third place, I have Eden Juicy Apple, number 1. So this one was actually perfected on the first try. The main notes are juicy red apple, wild berries, jasmine, lychee, vanilla flower, and sensual musk. And this one is just like the name says, it's such a juicy apple scent. I pretty much just get apple and maybe a little bit of vanilla in there in the dry down. I don't really get berries in this one, but nonetheless, I love this one. This is such a nice summer spring scent. Unfortunately, I don't get the projection I would like out of this one, which is, like I said, it's a common kind of issue I have with Kayali. In my opinion, this is like a body spray, but better. I say I get about 5, 6 maybe hours of wear time out of this. The first one is nice, juicy projection, and then it'll settle down to that skin scent, and then I will reapply it because I just can't get enough of this one. I love the apple scent in this. It's so sweet and it's playful and it's just such a nice summer, spring vibe. I wouldn't really reach for this one that much in fall and winter because it is such a bright perfume, but you do you. If you want to wear it all year round, you go right on ahead. The scent actually does remind me quite a bit of Candy Love by Escada, which is also another sweet apple fragrance, so I guess you can kind of see where my preferences are with perfumes. Like I said, I do love that vanilla, sweet, gourmand kind of fragrance, and this hits that for me. I just wish it lasted longer and projected. I was going to rank this one number 2, but the longevity and the performance of this one just couldn't sit in that number 2 spot, so I had to knock it down to number 3, but I do really, really like this one. And if you have been scared to give this one a try because of what people say about it just smelling too juvenile, if you do like sweet, fruity scents, definitely by all means try to get your hands on this one, at least to sniff it, because it is a good one, at least in my opinion. In my number 2 spot, I have Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. And the main notes are pear, jasmine, coconut, sandalwood, and vanilla bourbon. This is the longest lasting Kayali fragrance that I've tried. It will project decently for about 2 or 3 hours, but on my skin and kind of in my close proximity, this will last day to night. This is definitely one of those beachy sunscreen scents. If you are a fan of those, you're really gonna like this. It's got that coconut and that vanilla. You get that sandalwood in the dry down, and they just blend together. It's such a nice scent. Literally just smelling it takes me to the beach, and I wish I was there right now, honestly. And this is just making me want to go to the beach even more, which is a little bit sad because we are now kind of getting towards the end of the summer, but I've definitely been wearing this one throughout these warmer months because this just is such a delicious beach scent. I cannot get over it. As always, I do wish I got more projection out of it, but other than that, it's such a yummy smell. You need to get your nose on this one if you like beachy fragrances. And lastly, for my number 1 spot, this is probably no surprise to anyone who has tried Kayali fragrances, it is Vanilla 28. The main notes for Vanilla 28 are vanilla orchid, Tonka Absolute, Brown Sugar, Amber Woods, and Musk. This is probably their most popular perfume, if I'm not mistaken. I know a lot of people who love this as much as I do, and this is just one of my favorite vanilla perfumes. For Vanilla 28, I will get some nice projection for about 4 hours, and I'll smell that yummy, sensual, warm vanilla, and then it'll settle down to a skin scent for about another 4 hours, and then I'll get more of like the musk and the amber woods on my skin. This one is not an overbearingly sweet fragrance if you're worried about that. It is a vanilla and it is sweet, but it's really balanced out by the sensual warmth from it. It's like a sexy, mature vanilla. If that's what you're looking for, you need to smell this because it is so, so good. This is my all-time favorite Kayali fragrance. This is a beautiful everyday fragrance, but especially for summer nights, fall and winter, because it does have that warmth to it, but it's not overwhelming. It's got the perfect balance of sweetness and depth, and it's just delicious. I love this one. I have been very tempted to get the full bottle of this one because I love it so much. It's such a nice vanilla. I cannot get over it, and I need to put some on right now actually because I'm talking about it and I miss smelling it, and there it is. It's so frigging nice. I love it. Alright guys, so that kind of wraps up my ranking of the Kayali fragrances that I have tried. Let me know down below which one is your favorite, and if you guys think I should check out the newer ones, like the pistachio one. I'm really curious about because I hear it's a gourmand. So I'm really intrigued by that one. Also, let me know if you've had similar experiences with Kayali's projection and longevity, or if you've had great experience with it. I'd love to know down below what your guys' thoughts are. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to, you can go ahead and leave a like, a comment, or subscribe if you want, and I will see you next time. Thanks guys. Bye. God bless.